89 a Rádio Rock, eu sou a Giulia e hoje a gente tá aqui com o Luke Pritchard, do The Kooks. Hi, Luke.
Hi, Julia. Thank you
It's so
so much for
nice.
having me on. I
Thank,
appreciate it.
thank you for having me. Luke, talking about your new album, Never Know, this album reflects a return to the band's essence. What does that mean to you emotionally?
I'm getting back to it. But I think the journey is that for the Kooks was that our first album was so successful and especially in the UK and it kind of just came out of nowhere. So we kind of had been running away from it for so many years. I felt like we always were like we need to evolve, do new things, not copy ourselves. And I think after 20 years of changing the ways of working and changing the ways of songwriting. I just went, "Do you know what? It's been a long time since I just sat in a room on my own and just like pulled my thoughts out, right? And um and so that's what I did, I mean, because the first album I wrote it in my room at my mum's house, you know what I mean? And so this one, I did the same. I was at home and I just went to the basement. I just took my acoustic guitar and I wrote like all the songs. So I think stemming from that, it did what the roots of the band are, but also honestly from me as a person, as a songwriter.
And how do you balance nostalgia and reinvention on the Never Know writing process?
I mean, I don't think too much about it. I think I just want to make stuff that I would put on that I like the sound of. Um, Having said that, there's a certain bounce to the Kooks. There's a certain bounciness I think is quite unique to us that we do try and embrace that kind of sort of side of indie music. I don't think as maybe would do it, and the humor and stuff like that. So those things are quite nostalgic to me for this band and when we started and we kind of living by the seaside and being quite twee as we would say in the UK. And so yeah, like when I'm making music, I'm just listening to records I love and trying to get there, trying to make music that I think is as potent as the stuff that I love.
And look, I saw the album was almost fully produced by you, and it has some of your personal experiences. I want to know how was it to shape this experience into new lyrics?
I did. This was a bit of a personal expression. This record, particularly, I felt that I started a family, and I'd had through doing that, I'd have a lot of time. Like I'd reflected on my life and how things had gone, and so that's okay, no worries. So what I found was this kind of peace that I think I hadn't had. So a lot of the songs were about finding peace and being kind of a nerdy teenager, getting in a band and uh, being a bit cheeky and maybe going down the wrong paths and somehow the gratitude of kind of like the music kind of got me through it and to get to like a quite good sort of place. And so a lot of the songs are about my kids and my wife, and it's quite romantic like that. And and some of it is, yeah, kind of um, reflecting on some of the mistakes I made over the years and acknowledging them. And it's quite cathartic in that way for sure, like writing those songs. But that's just what came out. I didn't really think about it. It's just like what came out of my mouth when I was singing, um, but I think at the core of the record it is this, yeah, this kind of gratitude and the a kind of finding peace in my
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And the Cook's first album, Inside In, Inside Out, is almost completing 20 years. Does it feel like it's been that long? And what have you learned as an artist and personally since then?
Yeah, it feels like a lifetime ago. Um, I mean, I think were I was probably 17 when we started making that album. So, and some of the songs were I was 16 that I wrote some of those songs. So it feels like another lifetime, and it feels like a long time ago. But but that's the beauty of music. because music's a time capsule. It's those songs have evolved for me. The meanings have evolved. The kind of meaning has evolved over time. And I think I feel finally like in the place I should have been when that album came out. That's the overriding feeling I have. I think I wasn't really prepared for it, and I don't know if anyone is really, but some people are. But um, it just took me a bit longer, and I'm here, and I think those songs, the fact they've sort of got this new life in them, and the young people picking them up, it's really inspiring me. It's like wow, like it meant something.
And if you could go back to that moment, what would you say to that look from 2006?
Patience, patience, please, patience. I think it's really hard. Like advice is really hard in general because um, all the advice you want to give to a young person, it it will be about yeah, like not worrying too much in the moment, and you've got so much ahead and taking your time. But when you're young, the definition of being young is you're impatient and you're impulsive, and um, I think I would just be like, don't be so hard on yourself. I think would be my overriding thing. It's like just enjoy it more, probably. Sure, you hear a lot of people saying that. I think I was so stressed, felt quite paranoid a lot at the time. I mean, it was such a whirlwind, you know, and places like Brazil, like um, going to these crazy places when you're 18, 19, 20. It was just wild. Just didn't, we were so busy, didn't really have time to think about it. And luckily now I still get to do these great things and I can really like take my time with it.
It has been a while since the Cooks last came to Brazil. What stood out to you the most about those visits?
Yeah, I know we need to get over to Brazil. I mean, I know it's in the comments. People are very, they get very passionate about wanting us to come back, which is so sweet. And listen, Brazil, it's different. You know, it's different to what I grew up with, and there's a different way people dance over there. I always think like, you know, the, looking out to a crowd in Brazil, isn't it? It's like hear everyone kind of like bounce. You got the soul, you know. And music's so important in Brazil. I think that I really relate to that because in the UK, people love music, but it's not the same. I think like music runs deep in Brazil. It's part of everyday life is listening to music with your friends and your family and dancing. And I that's what I always took away from there. I remember going to like, you know, dance bars in Brazil and being like everyone, there's different generations and everyone's sharing the music. I think it's a beautiful thing.
And through social media or even in person, what's your connection like with Brazilian fans?
Well, it's yeah, it's amazing. I think we've got a lot more to do in Brazil. I think we haven't really spent enough time uh, over there because it is hard to get over there. But so I think there's a lot more to be done. But I think that it feels like we've got a good core group of people that get what we do and they respect us. And so yeah, I think like social media is a beautiful thing for that. I can see it. I look at the Reddits and stuff, and a lot of people from Brazil are really giving insights into what they think the songs are about, and they really care. And so I think it's a strong connection. And we need to build on it. We need to spend more time there. I'm sure we'll do that.
And I have to ask that because otherwise people in comments will kill me. Is Brazil on the map for an upcoming tour?
Brazil is, I'm not just saying it, Brazil is talked about probably every other day between myself and the team. And we want to, we actually really want to come and make a record there. That we've been talking about that for a long time. So um, it's a very special place to us. You know, moving pieces. I think if we don't go next year, I'm going to be very disappointed. So I'd say it's like 95% will be there next year. Yeah. Just gotta.
Okay.
It's up to powers beyond our control sometimes. You know what I mean? But we Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there. Ask your
Okay.
promoters and your friends to ask for us, and we'll be there.
Okay, we're so looking forward for that. And to finish, can you send a message to your Brazilian fans?
Obrigado, obrigada. You're beautiful. We miss you guys, and we do see all the comments. We see what you guys, all the love you guys send us, and be safe and happy out there. And just know that we'll be back soon. And thanks for all the support. We're in a really good spot right now. I think we made a really special record, and we can't wait to share it with you guys.
Look, thank you so much for your time. It was so nice talking to you.
Thank you so much. Really nice to meet you. Have a great day.
89, a Rádio Rock.